Hello and welcome. You're watching the Modern Mystic radio show. My name's Sarah. I'm your host. And if you do want a private reading with me, you know what to do. Go straight through to my website, which is modern-mystic.co.uk, or you can catch me on Facebook under Mystic Sarah and Modern Mystic. I'm very excited today because I do have a special guest with me. Her name is Mags O'Brien. She's from the UK and she is a life transformation specialist. So welcome to the show, Mags.
Hi, Sarah. Thank you very much. I'm really happy to be speaking with you tonight.
And we're absolutely delighted to have you on the show tonight. So tell us, Mags, what is a life transformation specialist?
Well, a life transformation specialist, I do what it says on the tin, and it's helping people to know what they want in their life and giving them the help and guidance to transform themselves. And that means that it's all about you and what you want, rather than trying to make people be something they're not.
Okay, and so what methods do you use to do all of this kind of work? Is there something specific that you kind of work with? Is there any sort of particular format that you use?
I have a number of modalities that I work with, and it's my experience over the years of doing various things. My favourite modality at the moment is soul realignment.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what is soul realignment?
Soul realignment is about looking at who you are as a soul. Because when you know who you are as a soul, the good thing about that is that you can see where you are in alignment with it, and you can see where you're not in alignment with it. And however we act, we are either living the positive end of who we are as the soul or the negative end. So we can look at where you're at and move you towards the positive end.
Okay, and are there any other formats that you use as well?
I'm a Louise Hay licensed teacher. And I learned that in 2013, so a while now. So again, I've got techniques around self-love and self-worth, which again blend in really well with the soul realignment. And the other thing that I do as well is I've been working with a self-sabotage coach, and I've got a holistic coaching qualification. So when the ego kicks in and wants to sabotage, we can go that way as well. So there's lots that we can do.
So tell us a little bit more about this self-sabotage thing. So what kind of situations would somebody have that they could perhaps relate to when you're using that term?
It's like self-sabotage is when we want to do something, for example. So say if we want to change our job, and we want to do something new, and then there's a part of it that goes, yeah, I want to do something new, I want to go for a new job. And then the other part of us says, well, I'm not good enough, I'm comfortable where I am. What if I move jobs and it's no good? And so we talk ourselves down and we talk ourselves out of what it is we want to do, because the ego wants to keep us safe. So even though we don't like something, the ego wants to keep us safe because it's familiar, and that is a real common thing. I do it myself too.
So, I mean, is that the same as procrastination?
Procrastination is a form of sabotage, yes, absolutely.
Yes, I know, because I'm a little bit terrible for that as well. I think we all are, aren't we? We can all relate to that.
Absolutely, and I do it myself. And the thing is that when you're a coach and you're aware of these things, it's like, yeah, I'm sabotaging. Come on, Max, what do you need to do? What would you say to your clients? So you can't get away with much.
So tell us a little bit about how you got into working as a life transformation specialist. So what's your background and how did you get here?
Long story short, I used to work in corporate. So I used to do purchasing. I worked in purchasing. I'd worked in sales. I'd worked in blue chip companies. And at 29, I had a breakdown. I was trying to do too much. I am ambitious. I still am. And basically, I just was walking through the office and I just stopped like that. And it was like, I can't do this anymore. And from that breakdown, it took me 5 years to get myself back something like, and during that 5 years, I meditated, I used essential oils, I did natural therapies, and I became a therapist myself. So healer, heal thyself. Mm-hmm. And then I discovered craniosacral therapy, which really helped me move forward. It's soft tissue work, but also it goes into the emotions and into past lives. So that helped me really clear a lot of, shall we say, rubbish. I don't know what words I can use on here, but you know what I mean? Yeah. And then from that, that's when I got into the Louise Hay, and then I moved into the soul realignment.
And you also work intuitively as well, don't you?
Absolutely. My experience through working with all these therapies and meditation, my intuition is really strong. And I would say to anybody, if there's one spiritual practice that you do above anything else, is meditation, because it really does hone that inner knowing.
So tell us a little bit about what sort of reasons would somebody want to come and get your services? So what sort of problems do you tend to deal with on a regular basis?
The main people I work with, it is mainly women, although I do work with men, but it still tends to be women that come for this more than men at the moment. I hope it changes. Because I'm an entrepreneur, a businesswoman, then I tend to attract business women, and they're wanting to build their businesses, but there's loads of stuff getting in the way. They might have a program or business coaching, and they go, yeah, that'll sort it out. But like you say, they procrastinate, they're not getting on with it. And what it is, there's deeper stuff going on at soul level, and things that are blocking, the blocks and restrictions at soul level, that are actually stopping them from moving forward.
So how do you identify what could be blocking somebody at soul level, and what sort of a effect does that have when a person realises what's blocking them?
The whole reading is done up in the Akashic Records. Would your guys know about Akashic Records?
Yes, they should do, because we've talked a bit about it. I'm an Akashic record reader as well, so.
Oh, well, there you go. So they will know. So up in the Akashic Records, there's everything that you need to know about who you are as a soul on your file. So we know who you are as a soul. We also know about those negative karmic patterns that your soul's prepared to look at right now, that we can clear and resolve. And I do that through a dowsing protocol. So it's not a thing that I do online like this, but I can still help with the other things and the intuitive.
And all of this can be done, so if somebody wants to work with you, they don't necessarily have to come to your office. They could do that
do this.
Yeah, through Skype or through, I'm guessing, any other sort of video conferencing.
Absolutely,
technique.
yeah. I've got Skype, Zoom. If they just need to do the phone, I've got something called Instant Teleseminar, Facebook Messenger. There's always a way.
Okay, wonderful. Now we are going to go on to our first caller in a moment, but before we do, just let everybody know how they can get hold of you if they want to find out more information, or they want to book an appointment with you, or just want to find out a little bit more about what you do. So how can people contact you?
People can jump on my website. It's www.magslifetransformationspecialist.com. It's all one word, lowercase. Type it slowly. I still have to. It's a great name, but it's a bugger to type. I am on Facebook. I do have a Facebook page, which is Mag's Life Transformation Specialist, so you can jump on there and message me. And I also have an email, which is mags@magslifetransformationspecialist.com. magslifetransformationspecialist.com, and I'll be happy to chat with anyone.
Wonderful. Okay, let's go on to our first caller. We have Alonza in Roxborough, North Carolina. Alonza, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. I'm here.
Hello. Welcome to the show. Do you have a question? I'm going to be passing you over to Mags this evening. Do you have a question for Mags tonight?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
I'm going to be passing you over to Mags in a moment, who's going to be doing or talking to you, giving you a reading. Do you have a question for Mags tonight? Is there something you'd like to ask?
Well, actually, I'm pretty open. And whatever my spirit guides want to tell me, or my spirit family wants to tell me, I'm all for it. Anything that comes through.
Okay. Over to you, Mags.
Okay. So you said you're in a pretty good place at the minute, and you just want anything that comes through. Is that right? I was just making sure I heard you right, Alonza. Okie dokie.
Yes, correct.
Fabulous. Okay, what I'm getting at the minute is, whilst you're saying things are good for you at the moment, it's interesting that I used the example of a job when I was talking to Sarah. I'm getting that there is a potential of things to change around your work. Are you aware of that?
Yes, ma'am. I'm actually looking for opportunities right now, honestly, dealing with work.
Okay, so it is the right thing to start to do that. It's the right thing to move where you're working, because although it's okay, it's kind of lost its shine. There's not as much challenge for you. You seem to be kind of drifting a little bit. It's lost its zing for you. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Cool. And so the point here is follow your intuition and your knowing so that you can change your job, because if you leave it, see, the issue is it's okay, and it's like, well, am I leaving something that's okay? It is okay, but you need more than that. And if you stay and it's just okay, it will not be okay in a short while. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Because you'll get more discontent, but also there's things going to be changing in that work situation. And I would say in the next couple of months, things are going to be changing around there, and you'd have wished you'd have moved. So yes, go for it.
Right. Thank you so much. That makes so much sense.
Cool.
Okay, is there anything else you would like to ask before we finish, Alonza?
Let's see. Well, about my my past grandmother. Is there anything that comes through from her?
I haven't got your grandmother here at the moment, to be fair.
For anyone on the other side, it doesn't matter at all.
I do have someone at the side of me, and he was the guy that was giving me the information about your job. And the guy I've got at the side of me, he's a slim gentleman with dark hair. He's quite straight up and down, and he's looking as if he's around his mid-40s. That's the age he's showing me. So he's quite lean, quite slim in the face. Do you recognise that person?
No, I don't, but I don't really know too much of my family either. A lot of my family, yeah. So yeah, I mean, it could definitely be.
It's what I'm getting is that it's on your mum's side of the family. I'm the same as you. I don't know too many of my family, and when I'm being given messages and it's like, there's so and so and so and so, and I'm saying, well, just give me the message because I don't know them.
Exactly. I'll take whatever message you can give me.
Oh, bless your heart. Well, see if you can find this gentleman on your mum's side of the family. And he's showing me that he wore like grey colours, pale blue colours.
Hello?
So he wore more grey. That's what I'm seeing. And I think you will find him in family photographs, actually. He's on your mum's side of the family. I think he's like an in-law, like a brother-in-law or something like that. He's in the family by marriage. Does that make sense? I think we're...
Yeah, are you still there, Alonza?
I think we've lost her.
Yeah, I think we've had some technical difficulties there. So we will go straight on to our next caller, and we have the lovely Maria, who is in West Valley, Utah. Maria, can you hear me?
Yes, hi.
Hi, welcome to the show, Maria. I'm going to be handing you over to Mags, who will be doing your reading for you tonight. Do you have anything that you want Mags to look at for you?
I mean, just anything in general, like, just, I don't know what to ask.
Okay, so let's just see so if Mags can sort of pick up anything. Perhaps maybe there's some questions arising from what Mags can pick up for you. Is that okay, Maria?
Yeah, just...
Hi, Maria.
Hi.
Okay, so let's see what we're getting here for you then. What I'm getting is that there's one area of your life that's not quite working for you, and I think it's around your home. It's I'm seeing your living room, so it's like where you're living, your home circumstances. Does that make sense?
What do you mean by that?
It's where you're... So at the minute, there's stuff going on around your home that's not working for you. There's something going on there that's not right for you.
Yes, that's right.
Does that make sense? Okay.
Yes, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So what Spirit was showing me, they were showing me your living room, and they were making me feel uncomfortable. So there's something around your home that's making you feel uncomfortable, and it's something that you need to sort out because you've kind of left it. Does that make sense?
And what is it? 'Cause I feel the same thing, but I don't know what it is.
So you see that there's something wrong in your home, but you don't know what it is. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm getting is this. It's about the way you're feeling in the house. It's nothing to do with spirits or anything like that. It's to do with the way you're feeling. There's something that's not... It's to do with you and the way you feel about your living circumstances. So it's not anybody else, even though somebody, does that make sense to you?
It does. And what can I do to change, to make changes?
Okay, so the first thing you need to do is to actually acknowledge because like I say, you've kind of been saying, oh, things don't feel right, and then you've dashed off and done whatever you're doing. You've not actually sat down to address it, or sat down to actually think about what's going on. Because I'm getting the impression that you keep yourself really busy.
Okay.
Yeah, do you recognise that?
Yeah.
So what's happening is you're feeling this discomfort, but you're not recognising it, and you're not working with it because you're just running around. So what you need to do is, what I would advise and what would help you is, if you get a pen and paper, or if you've got a journal, sit down and just write. And just, if you want to swear, if you swear, then do that, or just write whatever comes into your head and start to express what this, the word they're giving me, it's a low-lying discontent. And what they're saying is, what Spirit is saying is, if you write that down, then you can start to identify it and then start to make changes. But the first thing is to actually acknowledge and recognize it. And it is something that you can change, because it's the way you're feeling about things. It right. feels like the situation has got a negative spin on it, and the negative spin is just taking you down and down, and you can change that. Does that make sense?
Yes, because I feel like it's more about myself, my self-esteem, that it's like really low.
Yeah.
So that's what I have noticed. And right.
Yeah. And I would write that down. And also, it is worth, if you want help, it's worth getting help with that, because in my experience, it took me 20 odd years to sort my stuff out, and in the last 5 or 6 years I've had coaching, and my life's moved on phenomenally. So my advice to you would be to write down what you're feeling. You don't have to work it out, but see if there's someone that can help you.
Okay.
Because it's always easier when you're not doing it by yourself.
Okay, it's like some counseling or... Okay.
Yeah, counselling, or a mediumship reading, or, talking to someone. Does that help at all?
Oh, yeah, it does. And is there anything else that you guys, any other cards or anything else that you see besides?
I think what I'm getting as well is to start to be kind to yourself. Because you can be quite critical of yourself, is what I'm being told, and that doesn't help. A great book, the first book that I worked with that led me to becoming a Louise Hay Heal Your Life teacher, was her book, Heal Your Life. You Can Heal Your Life. And that's got exercises and things in, and there is a workbook where you can actually follow that through. So that's a cheap way of doing it if you want to work by yourself. And you can go all the way up to, having coaching to have somebody help you with it. But it's your choice how you feel. Does that help?
It does.
Cool. How, let me ask you a question. How motivated do you feel to actually do what I've asked or what I've suggested?
How much?
How motivated? How I'm going to get on with it? Or is it like, yeah, all right, I'll give it a go?
I mean, it's going to help, because, I've been trying to do this for some time, because I noticed all of this, and I know that I have to make changes, and it has to start with me.
Bless your heart, indeed. Start with Louisa's book, and if you need help, you know how to get hold of either of us. But, well done you for asking. That's the first step.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Maria. We are going to have to leave it there. It's almost at the end of our show. So I'm going to thank Mags as well for coming on to the show. Once again, Mags, just remind everybody of how they can get hold of you should they want to get in contact.
Okay, my email is magslifetransformational specialist.com, or my website is www.magslifetransformationspecialist.com, or find me on Facebook.
Okay, thank you so much. And again, if you want a private reading with me, you can contact me on modern-mystic.co.uk, or go onto any of the Facebook pages. I do regular live sessions, free live sessions, plus many interesting articles as well. So Facebook pages are Mystic Saira and Modern Mystic. So I'm going to leave it there. Enjoy the new moon, which is coming up tomorrow. Going to be a powerful one. And I shall see you the same time next week. Goodbye for now.